Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo and I'm here checking out The Long Reach. This is a two-dimensional horror adventure game. We've played a lot of these before on this channel, mainly because a lot of them tended to show up on Vita after Lone Survivor. This game actually claims to be thoroughly inspired by Lone Survivor, and I can see why. What is it about all these games having pixelated things though? Anyway, we'll go have a quick look around before we load into the game, because the game's load times are ridiculous. If you die, or if you continue from your save game, which isn't really your save game, it's autosave and nothing else. But if you continue, or just, load a game or die and have to reload your save, the loading time is something along the lines of 30 seconds, so we might as well come and have a quick look around. You can turn the gamma up a bit, but it's not necessary. The game's pretty good on the light level, and they do give you a flashlight, so it's not a big deal. And authors is credits. I don't think English is their first language, judging by a couple of the weird uses of English throughout this game. Anyway, just FYI, I haven't been playing this for very long because I suck at these sorts of games, and I've mainly been using the walkthrough, and by the walkthrough I mean a video on YouTube, as a crutch to get through this, because I am terrible at seeing the sorts of puzzly things in this game, sorts of games. So I'm about an hour in, but according to the walkthrough, I'm already about a third of the way through the game, and my computer is having some massive hitching problems right now. I hope this isn't affecting the recording. But yes, this is basically, well, oh god, not again. Nope, there it goes. That's so strange. But yeah, these are the actual loading times though, seriously. This game does take something upwards of 30 seconds to load. And whenever you die, which is quite often in my case when I was trying to do one of the earlier puzzles around something that could kill me, I was waiting a lot for extra opportunities at it. The game's technical performance also isn't that great either, mainly because, well, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this game was made in Unity, because it just feels like one of those laggy Unity games that just seems to slow down for no reason whatsoever. Like, yeah, you can tell that it's kind of going at a slower speed than it's supposed to right now. When I go into a room, just as an example, it'll let me, you might be able to see the game speed up a bit, but yeah, it's a very easy game to understand. Move left and right, hold square to run, press X to interact with things, and you can press triangle to open up your inventory and see all the different items you have. That's pretty much it. Oh, also, you've got flashlight on the R button. That's it. Like, you don't even start with the flashlight. So let's go have a quick look around. I don't know what I'm doing up to this after this point, so I can only promise to try, but hopefully it'll give you a relatively decent idea of what's going on here. A fuse box, eh? Lots of sound going on in the background, and apparently I got a red rag. Can I do anything with the red rag and the red plate? Apparently not. Yep, this guy loves his puns. Okay, so we've got a red rag and a red plate. Now, what the hell do I do with them? I'm assuming I have to go back down to where I found the red plate, but honestly, at this point, I've got no bloody idea. That seems to be half the reason this game is as long as it is. Because the walkthrough video on YouTube has this game at 90 minutes, if you know what you're doing. However, I imagine if you spend a lot of time wandering around trying to figure out what goes where, yeah, you're going to have a pretty long game on your hands, all things considered, which is not the worst thing in the world. That is how puzzle games maintain their longevity, after all. But yeah, there's no point trying to walk through this. It'll just beep at me, and I don't have the key to actually get into it yet, so yeah, there's a door on the other side there that I can't get through. That door's locked, and it needs fingerprints. I wonder if this red rag or red plate. Nope, they don't have it. Unfortunate. What about back through here? There are stories and conversations you have throughout the game that tends to show basically the world's screwed, more or less, or at least everything inside this building is screwed. I don't know what's going on outside of it yet. But the general plot seems to be some crazy lady who was basically working on what could easily just be described as the neuromods from Prey, which is taking someone else's memories and skills and abilities and transferring them to another person. Apparently she came up with that sort of technology, but screwed it. Screwed the pooch, and now everybody's gone completely and utterly insane. Also, she's turned into a dictator with a bunch of clones running around that all have the name Alan. At least I'm guessing that's what's going on with the plot so far. That's pretty much all of it, to my personal knowledge at the moment. I'll give the game a fair bit of credit for its atmosphere, though. It does look quite nice. I mean, the one thing I personally have a problem with is the characters. I think the outline on them is all a bit too much. But the rest of it is absolutely fine. In fact, it's really quite creepy at times. And the sound design's pretty good too. There's one part of the game where you're wandering through a hallway with a lot of voices going all over the place. And you're just... It is just kind of creepy to listen to. Honestly, I have no idea what the hell I'm supposed to be doing at this point, which is kind of worrying. There's nothing in the way of actual combat in this game as far as I can tell. Like, there was one dude that I had to fight off around this area, and he basically kills you in one shot. So I'm guessing that the majority of quote-unquote combat you have to do in this game is running and hiding. And outside of that, it's just wandering around and trying to figure out what the bloody hell you're supposed to be doing. Which I'm going to go and find out right now, because I don't want to waste too much of your time, and I'm going to be wandering around for bloody ages if I let this go for too long, so give me a minute and I'll be right back. Unbelievable. Right, so... yeah, it turns out that you had to start a goddamn flood for whatever reason. And I'm not entirely sure why or how I was supposed to know about this. I don't know, maybe I missed something like a note, but... yeah, apparently I was supposed to start a flood, and now that the power's out, I can go get whatever that is out of the freezer that I need. So yeah, the game's puzzles are not exactly self-explanatory. Like, there are a couple that make sense, but I mean, there are a couple that just absolutely flatten me with just how insane they seem to be. Like, I'm honestly not entirely sure how the hell I was supposed to guess that sink puzzle, but... well, I guess that's just a thing, so up we go. Alright, so I've got the two drugs I need. Now I need to go mix them together, and there is a thing for mixing things back down in the science lab, so we can go do that. There are discussions you have with other people, and they're just about as insane as you're going, so... well, you'll hopefully see one eventually. It's just that there really isn't that much else to talk about. This has been pretty much the entire game so far. Just wandering around, hoping you find the right thing to do. Not the worst thing in the world, but... I gotta admit, the game's kind of spoiled the mystery. At least not a little bit. There still might be some weird stuff going on. Stan's locker, apparently. There are a couple of minor things that I do not enjoy about this game, though. One of them is that seeing objects that you can interact with, especially in this darkness, is kind of annoying. There is something that they do to let you know that you can interact with something, but it's something that you might not notice. Like, for example, look at this door, for example. Once you're close enough to it, you can hit the X button, you'll interact with it. But you'll also see that it takes a few seconds for a gold line to draw around it. This is how they show you how to interact with certain things. And this is usually okay, except unless you are stepping through an area at, like, minimum speed, sometimes there are some objects that you'll just completely miss. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't complete a puzzle the first time, because I completely missed a small, almost invisible... Well, it wasn't almost invisible, but it was pretty damn hard to see nonetheless. A small present lying on a desk. I never saw it. And since I never saw it, I never knew to actually, you know, pick it up and actually continue on with the game that way. And there's a couple of things like that, including that bloody sink. I never would have expected to need to bloody turn on the sink in order to flood the place and cause a blackout. I never would have thought of that. I don't know, that's... I'm just trying to remember where all these bloody things are. I don't think it was through here. We were just there, goddammit. Why can I not remember at this point? God, walk through, save me. Right, it's the second door on the left on basement 2. Yeah, there we go. Right, so now I need to... You know, spinny thing for mixing. Let's feed these two in here. Bit of a weird reference going on there. There is actually a fair few references to random things in there. Some of them make sense, some of them really don't. It's not a huge deal. It says we've been here for 16 minutes, but I don't believe that for a second, mainly because I've needed to take so much bloody time off. Let's go have a talk to the crazy lady. Okay, brain, now I need to remember where crazy lady is. Shit. Not great. Not great at all. Oh good, I actually remembered. Yeah, this shit gets weird. Hi. This is how dialogue happens in this game. It's a little strange. Why is it reverse? Well, why is it coming from the... I don't know. Anyway, let's give her a shot to bring her back to normal. She looks less happy. Oh dear. Ghosts. Interesting. Holy shit, I fixed one. Okay, let's not do that. Well, that's the truth. Also, in case you didn't notice, the text is actually really small for some reason. Like, sure, it looks fine here, but when it pops up on like a loudspeaker or something, it gets really small and really pixely. It's not great. Kind of hard to read. Oh, that's a problem. Okay. Am I supposed to be sitting here and watching him? It's not actually letting me do anything. The buttons aren't doing anything. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there we go. Right. Well, I think I managed to hide. Or did I? Well, the game auto-saved, so I must have done something right. Oh wait, I know where I am. I'm back up at the top floor. Right, so I guess I need to go and, find Crazy Lady again. That's a bad sign. She's probably dead. Question is, where exactly is she dead? Because I'm guessing we're going to need her finger. You know how it goes in these sorts of horror games. Well, she ain't in here. Probably should have checked on the third floor while I was there, now that I think about it. Oh dear. Turn the light off and hide behind the table. Or not. Yeah, that's kind of what I meant by the game not having any combat. You're supposed to be able to hide behind one of those tables. I'm kind of surprised it didn't let me, actually. Although, how did that bastard get out? I thought I locked him in somewhere. Well, enjoy waiting for 20 minutes while the game's autosave loads, and then we have to work our way all the way back to where we were, because this game is kind of shit with the saving sometimes. Anytime now, fellas. This is what I meant about the load times, by the way. Where am I? Oh, no, it's not actually that bad about the saving this time. It's actually pretty cool. Right, I guess I'm not hiding from him like that. Huh. Right, well, I guess we've got another puzzle to figure out. And I've already been here for 25 minutes with a sore throat, so this isn't going to be great. But of course, the load times. So let's skip forward in the walkthrough so that I don't have to spend too long dragging my feet on this one. Oh, I missed something, because of course I bloody did. Right. Back to... not that door. Back to the 3rd floor we go. There are some other kind of neat little things about this game. Like, you saw how when the crazy dude charged me and, well, killed me, he left little reflections on the floor, like little puddles, except they weren't puddles, they were more like sound waves, and that's pretty neat. A neat little way of showing off sound. But, I mean, other than that, there's really not that much else to say about it. It's a pretty fancy little game. Wait, seriously? Yep, that's actually meant to be a key. Why is that a key? I couldn't even bloody... how would I have been able to tell that from just any other random piece of garbage on the floor? I mean, I guess it is the only piece of thing on the floor, but... good lord, I wouldn't have been able to tell that was a pile of keys just by looking at it. So, okay, so apparently we have some keys now. I guess we have to go find where those keys actually go. Back to the walkthrough, I suppose. Oh, right, now I remember. Stan's locker. Derp. There's a locker room, so... Stan's locker. So there's a note there, and... tranquilizer. Cool. Poor Stan. Oh, for God's sake, I'm dead. Alright, I was supposed to put the tranquilizer in the coffee before I turned the sound on that. Yeah, look at the performance on the game now. Oh, wait, what? Okay, apparently for some reason that was just unlocked for no discernible reason. It didn't even warn me the game was saving, did it? That's confusing. I'm not entirely sure why the... Okay, whatever. There he goes. Bye. And she's dead. Who would have thought? Oh, look. Her hand. Fantastic. I'm guessing that's what we use to get through the biometric scanner on the first floor. Great! Wrong direction. We'll go see what's in here and then we'll call this video off because my throat is really starting to hurt. I think I've picked up something. Please select the floor. B1, please. Fingerprints. Knockdown key and a crowbar. Suddenly become unethical. Are you serious? Can someone call this woman a bitch, please? Because that is exactly what she sounds like. Oh dear. Well, I'm back. Back in the real world. Interesting. Okay, so that was... Can I press that button again? Don't press the big red button, sure. Well, I'm guessing this is the way out of here. Welded. Damn. What about the blast door? Nope. Crowbar with the microwave? No, that's a bad idea. Even I know that. That's a wall by the looks of it. Phone battery. Let's walk slowly so I can tell what I can actually interact with in the background. So yeah, we've got the vent there. I'm gonna try and solve this one myself, guys. Interesting concept. Oh dear. Well, that worked. So what do I have? I've got a crowbar. Yeah, I said I was going to end this off here. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of the game, but that was a quick look at The Long Reach. It's an interesting little horror title. I'll give it credit for not allowing you to fight back, at least for the most part. I had a look at the trophy list earlier, and there is a little bit of a spoiler going on there. But the general horror stuff is pretty good. It's got a decent atmosphere. The sound design is pretty good. But there are some technical problems. Some of the puzzles are kind of hintless. I mean, there might have been a hint towards that bloody sink puzzle, but I'll be damned if I could see it. And yeah, it's just a little odd in that sense. But it's not that bad. I guess if you're looking for this sort of thing, you're more than welcome to come and give it a shot. Me, personally, not going to continue, but hopefully you saw enough of it to help you decide whether or not you think it's worth your time. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.